Hello, my beautiful, wonderful internet friends. How are you guys today? I'm doing okay. So a few little things before we get into the video. This is a true crime video. 1. 2. This is my second day trying to make these videos. And so this morning I came to the conclusion that instead of trying to cram everything into one video and put out everything and make it amazing right away, I'm going to break it up into 2, possibly 3 parts. So that is what we are doing with that. Second thing is, I am not a professional. I am someone who watches true crime videos on YouTube and does research from that and makes my own videos. I don't, starting this channel is a direct nod to all of the true crime YouTubers I already watch. It is my way of respecting them and respecting the people that these cases are about. Today we are talking about JonBenet Ramsey, and as I said, this is part 1 of 2 or 3 or more. And I say that because I watched 3 of my favorite YouTubers talk about this. Before I go any further with that, I need to do my little disclaimer. I am of a legal state. I am of a legal age. So I will have this today. Possibly some of this. And possibly some of this. We will see. But you'll definitely see me sipping on this. It's lemonade. Okay. Back into that true crime part. I have done research on this case for about 3 serious months now. I've watched 3 of my favorite female creators talk about this case quite a bit. And full transparency, I watched Kendall Rae and her videos about 9 years old. And I watched Christina Randall and her videos about 5 years old. And then I watched Call Me Chris and her videos about a year old. So I did that so I'd get updates throughout. Full disclosure, the first video I ever watched about JonBenet came from Kendall Rae about 8 years ago when I first watched it. So as I do in all my videos, I will be doing my makeup and enjoying my drink this time and talking about this case. Today we are reading from Google and Wikipedia specifically. And then my next video will be my notes from the videos I've watched and current 2026 articles I've read on the case. That's my plan. So I'm going to do my foundation and then I will be right back. Okay, here we go. This is JonBenet. So she was 6 years old when she was murdered. She was born August 1990 and she was murdered December 25th, 1996 at age 6. Let me set this up and then on the night of December 25th, December 26th, 6-year-old JonBenet Patricia Ramsey was killed in her family's home at 755 15th Street in Boulder, Colorado. She was reported missing early December 26th, and her body was found about 7 hours later in the basement of her house. Her skull was fractured and a garrote was tied around her neck. The autopsy determined that the cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation and associated with cranial cerebral trauma, and the case was ruled a homicide. cranial cerebral trauma is head injury. For those of you who don't constantly consume true crime and already knew what that was. Or doctors or whatever. Okay, the Boulder Police Department initially focused on the Ramsey family, particularly the handwritten ransom note found in the house, which investigators believe had been written by John Benet's mother, Patsy Ramsey. Excuse me. Police theorized the note and the condition of John Benet's body had been staged by Patsy and her husband, John Bennett Ramsey, to conceal responsibility in the killing. In 1999, both the police and the district attorney stated that John Benet's 9-year-old brother Burke was not a suspect. The same year, a grand jury recommended charges against the Ramseys for placing the child in a threatening situation for allegedly hindering the investigation of an unidentified person who had committed murder and child abuse resulting in death. The district attorney declined to pursue an indictment, citing insufficient evidence. Okay, quick second. In 2002, a district attorney... Hold on. My phone. There we go. In 2002, a district attorney assumed control of the case and advanced theory that an intruder had entered the home and committed the killing. In 2003, trace DNA recovered from John Benet's clothing was found to belong to an unidentified male, and the Ramseys were excluded as contributors. In 2008, the district attorney sent the family a letter stating that they were cleared by DNA results. In 2009, the Boulder Police Department resumed control of the investigation and continued to treat the case as an open homicide. Okay. I'm blending this out before I read the next section. Okay. The killing drew extensive national and international media attention, fueled by John Benet's participation in child beauty pageants, the family's wealth, and unusual evidence associated with the case. Media coverage scrutinized the police's response, advanced competing theories, and promoted multiple defamation suits by the Ramsey family members and associates. The police remained... excuse me, I'm sorry. The case remains unsolved, and the Boulder Police Department provides periodic public update. Okay, so that is what I have for the first Wikipedia page about this case. I'm going to prime, and then we will be back for the next article. So real quick before we get into the next section that I'm going to be reading, I want to mention a little bit of things that I'm remembering from the videos that I kind of just want to add. And these are like known things. These aren't just things that the lady said. Excuse me, I dropped mascara. That was a mistake. Fudge, now I'm blanking on it. Oh, since the case happened in 1996, and since then a lot of DNA evidence was preserved, and a lot of we've made progress with DNA science, and so there's a higher chance of this case getting solved now than there was then. And then another thing I'm going to say is, yes, I briefly mentioned that in the article, but the police didn't do what they should have done to preserve evidence, like something that, like, if you listen to the case or if you read into it any more than what Wikipedia tells you, is 7 hours before her body was found, there was neighbors, there was friends, there was other people in the house. Another thing is, hold on one second. Just a few interesting little notes that I'm adding here. There was 5 bedrooms in their house. It was a massive 3-story home. She was found in the basement. Another thing is this, again, you could Google this. I'm not even going on Wikipedia. This is a Google search where I just found that answer. And then the next answer is there was over 20 sex offenders living around her in that area in a 2-mile radius. Just putting that out there too. Alright, we're going to go back to the facts. Oh, this is all reported facts, but back to Wikipedia. Okay, I'm moving this because it's the second time I've dropped it. I read all this. Yes, okay. So, I really don't want to get into the conspiracy theories of this case right now, because it is still unsolved and it is still a very serious topic. Okay, so just to back up what I was just saying, straight from Google. At the time of JonBenet Ramsey's murder in December 1996, there were 38 registered sex offenders living in with a 2-mile radius of her home in Boulder, California. I was a little off, but yeah. High crime area. In addition to registered sex offenders, reports indicate that there had been more than 100 burglaries in the Ramsey neighborhood in the months leading up to the murder. Yeah, so I wanted that to be mentioned in this video, and I will probably talk about it even more in the next video, because that's something that a lot of people at first didn't realize and didn't talk about. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting when I first heard about it. 9 years ago, I didn't... 8 years ago, I didn't really think anything of it. Coming from Kendall, she didn't mention that part. Now, other people have talked about it, and I've watched other videos on it. Like, those 3 videos I mentioned were not the only 3 I've watched on it. I've watched probably about 10, just recently. Oh, I'm using the green. But I will say that in doing my research, I did find it pretty refreshing that they were still very much investigating still trying to solve it to this day. Something I'm going to mention is, but let me get the facts up real quick. Go back. Back. Okay. Okay, something I will mention is Patsy Ramsey, the mom, passed away June 24th, 2006, of ovarian cancer. So, that is all I'm going to say about that. Okay, that's it. I'm sad she didn't get to find out what happened to her daughter. That's what I will add. But yeah. That's all I have to say on that for now. Next video we will be talking about the ransom note, the phone call, and some other things. But for now, this is where I'm ending today's true crime section, so I'm going to pause, finish my makeup, and show you guys a finished look. But yeah, that is today's start of our JonBenet Ramsey section. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so my makeup is almost done, and I want to talk to you guys just a little bit more. The second part of this video will be coming out Monday or Tuesday. And as I already said, it'll be the ransom note, the phone call, and kind of the conclusion, basically. Or maybe not, I don't know. I'll have a better idea once I do more research. But yeah, I have no idea what color I'm doing that day, but if you have any suggestions, leave a comment and I will do my best to follow. Okay, and so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the part 1 of the JonBenet Ramsey case. I'm excited to get into part 2. I will probably be researching today while we're working, so yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, this is cool, so alright. Peace out. See you guys later.